The Patriots signed Stefon Diggs for 3 years, $69 million. And this was an interesting signing to me as well. But I got to come out and say, I kind of like what the Patriots are doing here in this NFL offseason and just what they've done as the offseason carries on through free agency. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the draft because you get Milton Williams, you get Carlton Davis, you re-sign Harold Landry, you get Robert Spillane, you got help for Drake May with Matt Collins, and now Stefon Diggs. You hired Mike Vrabel, who was the most coveted head coach in the NFL in the NFL head coaching vacancy. You've still got Christian Gonzalez as well. This is going to be a solid team, very possibly, for 2025. We could see a bit of a resurgence like we saw with the Bengals, like we saw with the Texans, like we saw with the Commanders, because I believe they've got the right quarterback to help them do it. I'm not extremely high on Drake May, but they do have the right quarterback in their system and on the team to help them get there. Gotcha. I break down film all the time on my channel. Just wanted to know what your thoughts were on him. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate, the comment. I appreciate you tapping into the show. And I especially appreciate that you watch film as well. That's absolutely remarkable. I love watching film too. Now, I'm not someone who watches film breakdown of other people. It's just hard for me to keep up with it. I like to watch film myself, give my own breakdowns, give my own takes, because that's what, truly makes it the NFL with AJL. That's what makes it the podcast that you're listening to. But yes, I kind of like what the Patriots are doing here, and it's very possible that we see a resurgence of this team after the Tom Brady years, after the one, or two Mac Jones seasons, because they're making moves. They've got a quarterback. They've got a wide receiver. They just went and signed a boatload, and I mean a boatload of Mike Vrabel type signings with Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, Robert Spillane, of course. Christian Gonzalez already mimics that Mike Vrabel, style, energy, mantra that he brings to the table. And the Patriots absolutely needed this, because when you go and look at their depth chart, yeah, you have Kayshon Boutte, you've got Demario Douglas, you had Kendrick Bourne, Jalen Polk, of course, Matt Collins, who they just brought in. But now you get Stefon Diggs. Now you have somebody to accompany a Hunter Henry, somebody to accompany an Austin Hooper, if they're still able to produce at the levels that they were previously. And the reason I mention that is because Mike Vrabel is able to get the best out of his players. I mean, that's just what he's always been very solid at. He gets the absolute best out of his NFL players, young, veterans, whatever the case is, he is able to get the absolute best out of them. And when you look at what the Patriots did offensively last year, they were second worst in yards and third worst in points. A lot like the Giants were horrible, bottom three in a lot of major offensive categories last year. Now you bring in a weapon, you bring in a veteran for Drake May. Stefon Diggs is 100% able to mentor, a Kayshon Boutte, a Demario Douglas, show the veteran leadership to a Matt Collins, to a Jalen Polk, to a Kendrick Bourne, however much time those guys might actually get. But you do have to wonder if the attitude of Stefon Diggs is going to hold up to not only the contract that you just paid him, but the expectations that you have of him coming into this year as well. Because we know what Stefon Diggs is capable of when he's healthy. He's a top 5, maybe a top 3 receiver in this league when he's firing on all cylinders. But we've seen some of the attitude issues between the last couple of teams. And we see him coming off of his first major injury in his career. He is slated to play week 1 after going down in week 8 of this season. He's going to be able to play in week 1 of the kickoff for the 2025 NFL season, but it won't be an actual full year, 365 days of recovery before he's out there in those tough physical Mike Vrabel schemes. So that can be some cause for concern, but it's a great pickup for the Patriots. I mean, they just keep doing what they need to do in free agency. I'm not necessarily a biggest fan of the landing spot for Stefon Diggs as a player, but he does have a promising quarterback in Drake May. He's got a great head coach in Mike Vrabel, which I know he's really going to appreciate. And this team hasn't been stagnant. They haven't been just sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen to them in free agency. No, they have been actually going after these players, as the ones that I just mentioned here, going after their coach and Mike Vrabel. I mean, quickly, as soon as they were able to hire him, he was brought on immediately. Gerard Mayo let go. Mike Vrabel comes in, a lot of money to spend in free agency. So Stefon Diggs, maybe I'll change my tune some, seeing how I just explained everything that I did. I didn't expect Diggs to land here, But we did expect the Patriots to go get somebody. Now, whether it was going to be T. Higgins, whether it was going to be maybe DK Metcalf when some of those trade rumors were heating up, we didn't really know. But now we do know that Stefon Diggs is a New England Patriot, and we'll wait and see what he's able to bring about in his time in New England.
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.